What's up? It's John here with Platinum Paint Contractor, bringing you here another awesome video of tips, tricks, and tools, and just ways that we do things here. So this video that I'm gonna go over, it's basically I'm gonna record my screen while I'm doing the takeoff. So this is assuming you've already downloaded this. It might not be this exact same software, but you've already probably downloaded your plans, or you have your plans in hand and you're using a student scale or an architectural scale, meaning it's like a little triangle 3D figure, and it has the scales 1/8. It has basically 132, it'll have 116, 332, 1/8, 1/4, 3/4. Sometimes it'll have like 4 different measurements on one side, so it's got 12 different measurements. And here what we're using is the scale. So we always want to make sure the first thing that this scale here, that the scale is correct on each sheet. So here we're going to fix that. We're going to use standard scales, and we're going to use 1/8. Why 1/8? Because 1/8 equals 1 foot. So this is for a reflective ceiling plan. Then it depends on how you get accustomed or how you get used to doing things. But right off the bat, there's no ceiling height here. So normally the majority of the time it's going to be in the notes. So we're going to look in the notes. This is the main building here. So we're only going to pay attention to anything on the notes that says main building. And general notes. And here it says see mechanical and electrical sheets for additional items. In ceiling, not shown on this sheet. Nothing about heights. Ceiling projector plates to be centered on 12 inches LC8. Verify exact location with the owner. So this is not for us. Typical ceiling height 9 foot above finished floor at main building unless noted otherwise. So here at the main building, it's telling me everything is going to be 9 feet unless noted otherwise. On the other plan, it's 9/4. So you got to make sure that you're not reading this. So here, typical height is 9 feet 4 inches above finished floor at expansion, meaning the new this area, any of this part of the sheet. But we're only gonna concentrate on doing this takeoff. Then we're gonna go ahead and verify that it's 9 feet. So now, here in our takeoff, just to get started, we don't know if I noticed there's some different shading here. There's different walls here, same wall here, this different shading. This is not highlighted, so it's probably, we'll look at more information detailed right now. For now, we're gonna put surface area, 9-foot gypsum walls. Start measuring. Then I usually like to work with darker colors. So the height, we're going to go ahead and put it at 9 feet. Lock it in. Finish measuring. While I'm at it, you don't have to do it. You can go as you're reading. Surface area. Here I'm going to put 9 foot CMU wall, center block. Or concrete masonry units. Start measuring. Thin. I like to use thin lines so that these lines don't start overlapping each other. Start measuring 9 feet. We already know that the ceiling's 9 feet. Then from here, we'll go to the floor plan. And here in the floor plan are all our notes. Patch column, where masonry goes. So we already know this is masonry right here. New interior wall, refer to partition legend for additional information. Patch columns, where masonry walls are removed. So it's patching, it's probably going to be sheetrock. Then here, it looks like it's CMU because it says here new 6-inch wide CMU wall. Refer to partition legend for additional information. So we know that we're going to have CMU here, CMU here. Patch column where masonry walls were removed. So this is a masonry wall. Now we're just going to go ahead and start looking for any information that we can. So we can actually measure off of this. We don't got to go back to the ceiling. This will actually be easier than this because on the other side it's got all my notes. Well, not all my notes, but all the notes that I need to refer to. This is gypsum, new gypsum, new gypsum, new gypsum, new gypsum. And then I'm more than likely everything above, which is about another 4 feet, is going to be fire tape. So we'll go ahead and start measuring. So here the CMU walls, I'm going to use, click on that. Standard scale, because the scale we made it on the other one. So it's letting me know that I haven't entered a scale here. I'll enter a scale. So everything I measured is going to be linear times height. So here we're going to do this. This is masonry. We're going to run it from here to here to here. Down here, this is a column. And then this is going to go sheetrocked. So we'll do all of it. We'll just include it as masonry, or you can separate it. I'll separate it later on. Or if not, I'll just add it again. Because I got to float that twice right here. There's going to probably be, let me see, a column. There's going to be an L bead and an L bead on both sides, and then a corner bead in the front and a corner bead. So 4 metal bead and corner beads all together just in these little columns. 2 L beads where the sheetrock and the column meet, and then 2 corner beads, one right here and one right here. So you got to go remembering that as you're measuring. If not, you can come back and click them, but it's all part of the square footage at the end, so I just run through them. The important thing is that have everything installed. You know, if the sheetrockers already came into this room and they forgot metal bead and you got to come back and all that, that's all your time wasted. So right now we're going to continue to measure any new CMU that's new. This piece is showing that it's new. These lines right here, so that was new CMU wall. That's obviously new CMU. And then, so right here, you're going to have another L bead where the sheetrock and the CMU. Oh, no, not right here. I'm sorry. This is CMU. CMU. And then here it's showing patch walls where items were removed. Corridor to match existing. So this is going to be CMU. This is obviously new CMU matching existing CMU. So now I already know that these concrete columns where masonry walls are. These are saying that these are indications that they're masonry walls. So I don't know if y'all are understanding that, but it says right here, patch columns where masonry walls were removed. So these columns are attached to masonry walls here. So something is being done to these masonry walls. So that indicates that these are CMU walls. Now here, this is new interior wall. This is indicating that it's sheetrock. So we're going to go ahead and gypsum. It's already loaded to 9 feet. Right here and right here on both sides of on each room, they're gonna put an L bead. So you got to float those L beads. But mind you don't got to put a corner joint tape. You just got to float out those L beads. So it's, once again, it's all part of the square footage. Here is another gypsum wall, meaning sheetrock, going up to 9 feet. Right now we'll come back and do all the fire tape. But right now we're going to concentrate on what's going finished. Here I missed this wall, those 2 walls. So we're going to come back. CMU. Here, these are going floated. So once again, you could either include them as in sheetrock and, you know, just measure it straight across, or you can separate it and measure the sheetrock, this little piece, because it's going to take sheetrock. Right here it says patch column. So what else are we needing? This CMU here, these columns here also. What else are we missing? Paint corridor to match existing. So we know that this is CMU. Paint corridor to match existing. I don't know, but it's all part of the same square footage. So it's just repaint. But so that we know later on our material and stuff like that. Here we're going to put surface area. It says everything was 9 foot. 9 foot. I'm just going to put 9 foot. I'm not going to indicate whether they're CMU or sheetrock because I'm not sure. It doesn't say there. But I'm going to put repaint. Walls. Start measuring. Thin lines. 9 feet. And here I lock it because if not, later on when you want to change the height, it changes your whole. When you want to change this height later on, if you change it by accident and you don't have this locked, it'll change all your measurements also to that height that you're changing it to. So it says here, paint entire wall to match existing from here. So it's starting from here. So I'm going to go this way, and it says paint corridor to match existing. So I'm going to go all the way up because here's the corner. So I'd rather just go from corner to corner. And this is on UCMU. Now, what else do I might have to paint? So paint entire wall to match existing. It's not telling me to paint anything over here. So I'm not going to paint. I'm not going to include it into my bid. I need to make sure anything else that I'm not missing. New door and scheduled existing exterior wall, patch wall is required. So we already included that wall entirely. But now we're going to concentrate on the doors. So here we have hollow, it's CMU. So it's going to be hollow metal doors because this is where the CMU block is. So they're going to more than likely use hollow metal doors is what normally I've seen on every single job I've worked on. So we're going to go ahead and go to count. Hollow metal door and frame. Start measuring, but the correct way to do it, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we're going to look at A160, A159, A157. Nothing to do with this one. X101. So we're going to look at those 4 doors in our schedule. A157, A159, A160, X101. So here it's telling us that our frame is steel, and then our doors, one is steel and the other 3 are solid core birch. These are more than likely factory finish. So I'm only going to include 1 frame and door together and then 3 frames by themselves. If I do need to seal these doors, they'll be in the specs. That's where I'll get notified what's going to get done to them. Then I'll include them as another count. So let's go to Takeoff, and then here I'll put hollow metal door and frame count, and it's just this one right here. So it's a 3x7 standard door. So I'll put a check and it counts it for me. Takeoff, new Takeoff, hollow metal frame only, count, check mark, and then I'll do these 3. 1, 2, 3. So they're all my doors and hollow metal frames are accounted for in this area right here. And now we're going to go ahead and do the fire tape in this room. So I'm going to assume that if these are going fire tape right here, I'm going to assume that everything above, if it wasn't already done, is going to go fire tape. So we're going to go to takeoff, new takeoff, surface area, fire tape, not for FRP, just I have certain stuff loaded already. Start measuring. Then we'll use a dark red. Height 4 feet. And here I'll use this to 4 feet. Let's see, fire tape. Here I'll use this to the rectangle, and I'll just have to click twice instead of 4 feet. Lock it up, and I'll just click twice. I'm not clicking each endpoint with my, I'm not right clicking each endpoint. I'm just 2 times in each corner. So I got my fire tape onto my takeoff there. Now I'll just go ahead and review it and make sure I didn't miss nothing. Make sure on the exterior there's something, existing ramp with new guardrail and handrail. It doesn't show that I'm supposed to paint that, so I'm not going to include that. Maybe it's galvanized. New door. So here it says patch wall. So on the outside, it doesn't mention anything about painting it, but it's included in the interior of this here in my takeoff through this little corridor right here, corridor X101. And I'm just making sure that nothing on this side of the corridor needs to get painted, making sure that nothing in this little area of the corridor where these fountains, nothing needs to get painted or repainted. And it looks like I'm just about done with my takeoff here in this little area of the main building. So doing it on a bigger project would be nothing different. You go back to your reflective ceiling plans, you go back to your schedule. Your schedule is going to have what the rooms are. So here it's these rooms A157 through X103. And then my walls. So here anything in this line and in this line is going to be gypsum board texture and paint, CMU painted. So I'll go all the way down to this area and there's nothing past that. So that means everything that is CMU and everything that is CMU and everything that is sheetrock is going to get painted in that room. And then after I got all my information and I got my takeoff down, and I don't need to put any specific notes because most of my notes I'll go putting them here in my takeoff in my group name. When I'm done and I've got all the information that I need, what I'll do here is I'll then go to reports, takeoff summary, and then it'll give me my takeoff summary of what I just did my takeoff here on the software, and then I'll export it to my Excel, and it automatically shoots it to my Excel. And then here I'll just do my modifications. I'll do my pricing. I'll do, I'll erase anything that I don't need. So I'll erase delete, not my each, because it has the count of these hollow metal frames and doors. So I'm not going to erase that. If I erase I don't really need the each on these. It's just telling me how many times I clicked. But I'm not going to erase them because, it's just, letting me know that I measured everything in 1/8. You want to always check that. Go back and make sure that everything you're measuring and everything is according to what that plan is, because it could make a big difference if you're bidding, with the smaller square footage and, it's not the square footage of the scale that you need for that project. Man, that really can be very bad. I don't wish that upon anybody. That can be horrible. Even with the hand scale, I've measured projects in the past where I started the whole job with a certain scale and then I flipped it and I noticed that I'm using it a wrong way. So it can be a headache. Then you have to start all over because you don't know, or you got to check each room and go back till you start noticing that, okay, from here I noticed 3 4 rooms are okay, but you might have had to measure literally 5 or 10 rooms to figure out what rooms did you start using your scale incorrect. That can be a bad headache. So then here, if you're a sheetrocker or something like that, you already know where these sheetrock walls are gonna meet. You got to put an L bead here where these columns are gonna be extended. You got to put, so these columns I didn't even get them, so I can put gypsum wall and then extend them because I'm that'll indicate that I know that those are gonna be sheetrocked. So I'll measure just to, usually they double it, so it's probably gonna be the same length, but just about right here. So I'll do the same thing with this one. Why am I doing this and measuring it twice? Because here, like I said, there's a lot of L bead, a lot of corner bead, and I know it says they're gonna extend it out. So that means they're gonna put another piece of sheetrock, and it's not telling me how far yet here. So I'm just gonna measure it twice, just so I don't lose out. You know, I don't start biting into whatever is meant to be on this on the takeoff. So after doing that, you know, once again, I'll verify that nothing in here, since I already did those incorrections, I'll have to take this off, don't save, and then I'll have to reload it again because I did some modifications or I did some changes. If not, I got to go back in there and change these, like a 9-foot gypsum, I would have had to change it because it would have been different. I just added these columns. It would have been less than that. What else? Let's see. I don't want to miss nothing. If you're doing the floor, same thing. New takeoff area. Let's do flooring. Start measuring. We'll fill it in. Say that this is all taking VCT. You'll want to use the polygon because here you want to go around the columns and stuff. And you would do the same thing around this column. And if you see this box that's following me that says flooring, and it'll tell you when you can, it'll turn red when you do something you're not supposed to. But you see this little gray box following me with the flooring, it says the segment I'm doing, the line, how many feet it is, the total linear and the total area. So it's giving me already the 111 times 9. And then here it's giving me the final square footage. So it'll give me 108 if I double click. If I want to start taking off lines, that's a whole nother video on how to use, you know, all these tools quicker, but that will come with time and a lot of practice and a lot of measuring and a lot of takeoffs and things like that. You'll start learning your tools. You'll start learning how to use your keyboard quicker. You'll start learning what you need to measure. But that's why I'm starting off with such a small little area. I thought that this would be perfect, the perfect video to you know, go over the takeoff. If at any given time, please, you've enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. After giving it that like and hitting that like button, if you're not already, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're not already subscribed. After hitting that like button and hitting that subscribe button, please don't forget to hit that little bell to get new notifications of when new content has been posted to this channel. After doing all those 3 things, don't forget to leave comments down in the comment section of more content that you would like to see, whether it's got to do with tape, floating, texturing, or painting, or in this case, takeoffs or bids or things like that. But we're going to go ahead and continue with this video and, you know, just figure out, I'm going to show you some more things. Once again, I'm going to go back. I feel like I got everything. You got to be very confident always about your takeoffs, whether you're doing sheetrock and whatever it's the trade that you know how to do. Then we'll go to reports and takeoff summary, export. We're just doing the same thing I already showed y'all. Open this takeoff. Once again, we'll just start deleting things that will enable editing. I'll add a name here. So I'm just going to put school. And we're not going to delete the each group, we're just going to go ahead and delete the drops count and the scale. And then here, once you're here, you can put descriptions of stuff you're going to need, whatever the case may be. So then after this, what I'll do is I'll divide this, and I'll figure out, okay, CMU, how much block filler I'm going to need. And for 2 coats of block filler, how much finish paint I'm going to need to apply to finish this area. Gypsum board, same thing. How much mud, how much joint tape, how much mud for the light orange peel, how much primer, how much finish paint. And then for the repaint of 2 coats of finish paint, depending on if it needs 1 coat because it's the same color, or if it needs a different color because, or if it needs 2 or maybe 3 coats because it's a white and right now it's, let's say, a maroon color or a dark blue or a dark red or something, then it would need 3 coats. But if it's just like another white on white, we'll be able to give it 2 coats. But we'll use 2 coats just to be on the safe area. I don't want my number to be real high. If anything, if it needs 3 coats, I'll just, we'll go and talk to the GC and say, hey, when I bid this project back then 6 months ago or a year ago, whatever the case may be, I didn't realize that this repaint needed 3 coats of paint. I bid it for 2 coats of paint, and in the spec I might go over it. It might say 2. Always go over your specs, your specification book on the projects. Each project, the architect or the GC should provide you with not only plans or specs. If you don't have specs, ask the GC or the architect all the questions you need to know to verify things on that project, so your bid proposal is according to what information you're working with. That way, anything extra comes up or anything out of the ordinary comes up, you speak about it with the GC gets with the architect, and y'all come out to the agreement whether the item's going to get done or not. I'm going to just do another video, in regards to that. But in this case, like I said, I'm only going to use 2 coats of paint, of repaint. So then I'll figure out my material for that. Then hollow metal door and frames. Then what type of material am I going to use on that? Water-based latex, or what does it call for? And then figure out how much paint I'm going to need to paint these items. After having all that, then we'll get our number, and from there we'll go and write our proposal on Microsoft Word. And literally, I think unless it has a whole bunch of items, it's 2 pages. I really don't think I've ever, not even starting when I first started, had a project more than 2 sheets. Because besides that, if it's a commercial project, the general contractor is probably going to send you their form of contract. They'll sign yours, but still send you their forms with their conditions and their terms and things like that. You're basically just giving them a number and giving them a heads up of what it'll cost you to do that project. You're probably not going to be the only contractor in your trade giving the GC a number for your trade. There'll be plenty, but you got to do certain things. Certain things will get you that number looked at and overlooked at, especially if it's a good sharp number. And that's for another video also. But this is basically the way that I do things on, doing my takeoffs. And then next video, I'll show y'all on how I do my proposals. If y'all even want to see that, I won't do it unless y'all leave a whole bunch of likes and subscribe. Please subscribe and hit the like button, because if y'all don't hit the like button, subscribe, and leave comments, I'm just going to assume that y'all don't want to see more of this content, so I'm not going to make it. And if y'all do want to see it, leave it down in the comment section, and I'll do more of this content, and maybe I'll do bigger projects. This is a very, very small piece of a project, but it's still a lot, and we'll go from there. So hope y'all enjoy. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. Hope y'all got a lot of knowledge. Hope y'all got a lot of wisdom on this video. I hope y'all enjoy this video, and once again, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe and smash that like button. Other than that, I hope y'all enjoy this video. God bless y'all. Y'all have a wonderful, blessed day. Hope y'all enjoy, and I'll see y'all next video. See y'all soon.